Hollow Knight Silksong was in development for about 7 years. And if you were a big Hollow Knight fan like me, you probably couldn't wait for it to finally come out. That's cool, right? Don't play with me! Silksong! I've gotta say, there were a lot of doubters about whether it could live up to the hype. But not me. I knew Team Cherry was going to knock it out of the park, and they did. The music, the locations, the insane amount of detail and care put in every element is just incredible. I'm still finding new things every time I play. There are so many ridiculously well hidden secrets that when you discover one yourself, it feels so rewarding.
What if I play near these guys? Oh my fucking god, I'm a genius.
But there is one thing that really stood out to me. Something I haven't gotten from a game in a long time. A lot of people complain about the difficulty, but I don't really get that. I think it's great that it's harder than Hollow Knight, since it's a sequel. It makes sense. If it were on the same level, it would feel too easy for fans like me. Personally, I don't find it that hard so far. I'm about 35 hours in, slowly finishing Act 2 while trying to do everything I can, and bosses haven't given me too much trouble. I emphasize this, so far, because I'm hoping the end of Act 2 or Act 3 bosses will completely kick my ass. What I actually find way more difficult than the bosses is the traversal, the true Metroidvania aspect of the game. I've died way more often to random enemies and platforming sections than to bosses. And a lot of things doing 2 hearts of damage is just a cherry on top for that. And that finally brings me to what I was missing in games for a long time. The dopamine hit of finding a checkpoint. Let's go! Elden Ring is one of my favorite games ever, but something was lost from Dark Souls there. In Elden Ring, you had graces everywhere, so it was never much of a struggle to find one. Dying wasn't a big deal because recovering was easy, and if you lost your runes, farming them back was very quick. I remember my first time playing Dark Souls, praying to find a bonfire, and when you finally did, it was amazing. That feeling came back to me in Silksong. Being in a brutally hard area, desperately hoping for a place to rest, so you don't have to run all the way back through the shithole. And then Team Cherry even took it further, adding a benches with traps.
Oh my god, it's a bench. What? It's crazy!
Temporary benches, or benches that just don't work. Because the other hidden one is not that far away. Forcing you to struggle even more. For example, I couldn't figure out how to repair the bench in Sinner's Road. Hey, it's not going up! And I have been fucking scammed. So I kept pushing forward to find the next one. During that time, I died with around 800 rosaries, which was a lot for me then, and I couldn't recover them. That frustration reminded me so much of prime Dark Souls times. If you played it back then, you know what I'm talking about. Fighting your way through Blight Town and finally somehow getting through it to find that bonfire. It was the best feeling, just chef's kiss. I know it sounds strange to complain that Elden Ring was more convenient with its graces and shorter runbacks, but that extra layer of difficulty really immerses you in the world, I think. Of course, there are some runbacks that are just, you're taking it too far. Looking at you, Dark Souls 2. But it does makes you feel the tension of exploring a hostile place. Looking at you, Billwater and Lighttown. So yeah, I'm loving Silksong and its difficulty. Honestly, I don't want it to end. I really hope we get DLCs before 2030, man. I will probably also make a video about doing 100% completion and other challenges. So if you want to see that, subscribe, and thanks for watching. He's slow. He has no one to dance with. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.